network cable tester. This is the NF-8209S version 2, by the way. Link in the video description in case you want to go and check it out. Now this is not for the everyday person. This is for someone who's mainly into networking, especially cable problem solving, because this could be the tool to help you. It does things like continuity. It does cable testing, basically. Yeah, network cable testing that is. And also I believe it also does telephone testing as well, or telephone lines, things like that. So let's get it out of the box. Just see exactly what you get for your pennies. Actually, it's not cheap neither. It's not in the hundreds, but it's not cheap. You can buy cheap versions for like a normal everyday person, like me or you. But if you're serious about networking, like I said earlier, this, nice little case by the way, this could be the one for you. It's a nice little case, isn't it? I quite like that. Now I did try and watch a couple of videos, but didn't seem to give me what I wanted, so we're making a video ourselves. Oh, and by the way, this was actually sent to me. Actually, it looks smaller than what I thought it was going to be. It looks cute, doesn't it? I suppose you don't really need it big. If it's big, it's just going to take up more room, isn't it? Yeah? So the main body itself, and this is the other end. Now, I believe there's a couple of different ways you can connect. So you can connect, obviously, in there, and also in there. Or even in there. Continuity, RJ11, what's that say? Scan, flash, PoE, length. Oh, PoE, eh? Power over Ethernet. Quite nice actually. Quite like the look of it. Instructions, I'm guessing. Quality label, yeah. Quality certification. Now what we've got? Earbuds. Well, that's different. Has it got a headphone socket then somewhere, or is that just on this bit? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, definitely headphones. Yeah, we'll have to find out, won't we? I didn't know about that bit actually, but I'm going to get them out anyway. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you everything. Well, I might be able to, but then I might not, because I'm not a cable engineer or network engineer. I'm just me, who likes playing about with things like this. Although I've built my own little server now, which I'm quite chuffed about, and I'm still building it actually. Look out for the videos by subscribing, clicking on the bell to get notified, and giving this video and any of my other videos a thumbs up. Now the thing you can do with this, not this, let me get this out first and then I'll explain. A little short cable. Now I'm guessing that these are things like, well, that one's for telephone because it's small, so telephone connection, and that will go in there, like so, somehow. Yep, quite stiff, and that one being the network RJ45 will go in there. Do it the right way up, Yorkie, like so, or maybe even in there. Yeah, for continuity. That'd be for your telephone. RJ11 would be these little babies. Yeah. And this little baby here, which even has a torch on the end of it as well, looking at that, I'm guessing that's a torch. This can not only help to test your actual cable connection, but it also maybe even help you find a breakage actually in the cable somewhere, or actually tell you which cable is actually broken if you're not sure which cable you got, because you've got too many cables. Now, first impressions. Looks scary. Think, oh my god, what have I got myself into? But I'm sure we'll sort it out. So first impressions, quality wise, it's robust. I'll give them that. That looks robust. It feels like good quality. It feels like hard rubber. That makes sense. Like a hard rubber siding on both of them. It's got a nice bit of weight to them. They're not heavy, but they're not too light, so they keep falling out your hands. That makes sense. Comes with headphones, like I said earlier. Comes with a USB to USB Type-C connection. Comes with 2 electrical clips for testing telephone line. Looking at that. See if you can find a breakage somewhere. Never used one of these before. Well, I've used these before. I've had these on my helicopters and my drones and that for charging up. But I've never seen one on a actual telephone line before. Interesting. So what I'm going to do now is I need to read the instructions, so don't go away. We'll be right back. I know I said what have I got myself into, but it's not as scary as I thought it was going to be. In fact, once you played about with it, it's quite easy to understand, especially if you watch a couple of YouTube videos like this one. You get a better understanding of how this works. So I'm going to quickly show you around, and then I'm going to give you a basic tutorial on how this all works. Okay, so starting with this. So on the front we have a torch. This is a sensor, so you go around probing things for testing. This is the on-off switch and the sensitivity switch. So the more it's turned up, the less sensitive it is. Yeah, makes sense? And we have 3 modes. We had the lamp. Hopefully that makes sense, on and off. We have scan, so if you're testing a cable, whether it be digital or analog settings, you want this on. Now, this has 2 modes. It has scan digital, which is what it's on now, and it has scan analog, which is that mode when it's flashing. So that is scan analog, and that's scan digital. So that will test the cable for you. Go around probing the cable. Say for instance, you've got a RJ45 cable, this baby here. Go around, once it's plugged in of course, and you can see where the breakage is. But if you have it turned up too much, it will just keep, I can't find it, but everything's going off, sort of thing. Yeah, makes sense? Right, so that is that, and we'll get to that in a bit. NCV, now, I haven't read anything about this, but from what I understand is for checking your electrics, see if there's power going through. Let me see if I can find some electric somewhere. Oh, here you go. Turn the sensitivity up. See what I mean? Yeah, that's what that does. And obviously the lamp, which I showed you earlier. So that is that. And on the side, headphones. So we have a headphone socket. And that is for, say for instance, you're working in a noisy environment and you can't hear this going off. You put the headphones on. Whether you put the ones on they've sent you with this or your own, doesn't matter. Plug it in there. I think that's a 2.5mm jack plug, not sure. USB type C for charging. Now that might be a downside for some people, but I have gave it a few tests and I find the batteries on this and this last a very long time. Probably more than a day, unless you leave it on permanently of course. And then at the bottom we have the RJ45 for testing your cable, which we will get to. So that is that. Nothing else to tell you about that. Nice and robust, which I like. Now this little unit here, again I thought, oh, looks a bit scary, but it's not. So on the side we have continuity and quality check, and we also have an RJ11, that's for your telephone. USB type C connection as well, and that's that side done. On the top we have flash PoE length scan. So you must make sure, depending on how you're using this, you're plugging the cable into the right slot. You can't just plug all your RJ45s into that and do all the tests. It doesn't work like that. We have a selection of controls on the front, and that's about it. Like I said earlier, it's very robust, or it feels very robust. So let's turn it on, and I'm going to quickly go through how this works. To go left and right, hopefully this is obvious. We have a left and a right, yes? And we have PoE, flash, QC, settings, continuity, length, scan, and so on. So just keeps going through and through and through. Now I'm going to show you the settings first. So settings, hopefully you can see that okay. Now settings, so you go on settings, press the enter button. We have length, we have language, we have backlight, how long you want it to stay on for. Now I've selected 60, but if you want to change it, you need to scroll right, because scrolling right will bring it down, and scrolling left will take it up, if that makes sense. Look, let me show you, see? Now I'm not going to go through all the settings, because it may take too long. So backlight, 60, or you can just leave it on. We have off, 15 seconds, 30 seconds and 60. Now I've set it for 60 because I'm making a video. I want to, show you how it works. So yeah, backlight is set for 60. Press escape, go back. Now we want auto off, I'll leave that alone. Contrast, calibration, version. I'm not going to change any of that, but I just wanted to show you what it actually does. So that's that. So the settings are done, yeah? Now, continuity. We need a cable, and you need to plug it into the right connection, which is none of them. It's on there. Quality, continuity. So you need to plug that into there. This into the bottom one of here. Don't need this on, but you need to plug it in the same. So press the enter button. Press OK to test, which is the enter button again. And we have a perfect connection. So we have 1 to 8 and they're all connected properly and all working. So that was easy, wasn't it? Now come out of there. Back again. Just press escape until you come out. Now length. Now length is up there, not there. So take that out. Plug that into there. Press length. Enter. So we have Cat 5. I'm not sure if that's Cat 5 or Cat 6, but if you want to change it, just press the enter button, goes Cat 6 or Cat 5. I'm going to leave it on Cat 5, and then to go down, like I said earlier, you need to do that. Now, if you're a person who likes feet rather than meters, press the enter button, get yards, feet or foot, meters, yards, foot. I'm going to do meters, and press that again, or go that way, press start test. Testing. And it says it has 2.0 meters long. Now I'm not sure how accurate that is, but it's probably about right. Now it's showing the connections, 1 and 2 cable, 3 and 6, 4 and 5, 7 and 8. And they're all exactly the same. Now, should one of them be broken, say for instance halfway down the cable, it will come up and say that this cable is only so and so long. And you think, oh, I've got a breakage. Job done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So that is how that works. Quite easy to understand, hopefully for you as well as it is for me. Now, scan. Again, make sure you have it into the right connection. Now, scan is that way round. Press scan. And it's a digital. Now, this is for this. So you need to turn this on. Make sure you don't have it up too high. Unplug that for a minute. Make sure you don't have it up too high. And that's showing, see that? That's your sensitivity. So turn it down a bit. See? And that's okay. Now test descent. Now you might be thinking, well, what's that do? What's it for? It's for so you can actually find exactly where it's coming out the other end. Say for instance, it's going into another room and you don't know which one it is. And there's more than one output coming out of a socket. Say for instance, you've got 4 Ethernet cables, but one of them is the one you're looking for. You should, in theory, be able to touch it with this, providing you've got the sensitivity set about right. You should be able to find to say, oh, that one is for that one. Now, analog. It's a little bit different with the analog. Let me press that. We're on analog now. So, digital, analog. Now, you need to change this so it's flashing. And it's more, I wouldn't say it's more accurate, but it's more, well, I suppose it is. It's more precise, if that makes sense. It still works the same. Yeah? Don't forget you can adjust the sensitivity, and if you do that, it's just going to keep going off. So make sure you get your sensitivity just about right. See? Easy, isn't it? Easy when you know how. So digital you need that. like I said, quite easy to use once you know how to use it. It's just you think, oh, that looks scary, but it's not really. So I'm going to turn it off for a minute. Now, what do we have next? We have PoE. Now, PoE is back in there again. Back in there. PoE, power over Ethernet. So this would be for things like security cameras where you don't want to plug it into the mains. You can give it power through Ethernet, through an Ethernet cable. Now, let's see if I can show you. So I have this is called an injector. It's a PoE injector, gives it power. Now say you've got a switch that doesn't have PoE, power over Ethernet, you can use something like this. So what you do is you plug in your non-PoE cable, say for instance this one coming from my switch, so that comes from my switch, that would go into there, and then out of there we have power, so this will go into there to give it power. We have a green light now, and then we get the tester, this PoE, and instantly we have power, and it's saying minus 53.3 VDC, and end spin. So 1, 2, 3 and 6 are producing power or sending power down the cable to give whatever I plug this into, it will get power. So if I take that out and plug that into, say, my PoE camera, it now has power. Whereas if I unplug that and then plug that into, say for instance, there, and then that into there, nothing. It's just scanning it. Whereas if I plug that into there, we have power. PoE. Woohoo! 802.3 at minus 53 blah blah blah. Now I don't know why it says minus. Let me know in the comments if you do. And then plug this in from my switch. Voila. So now I have a standard Ethernet cable going into my injector, and coming out the other side I have a PoE power on my Ethernet cable. Yeah, easy. Unplug. Nothing. Get the light up. See? Nothing. Plug her in. Voila. We have power. PoE. Now the flash, what it does is you plug it in, say for instance a switch. Let me get another cable from my switch, this little baby here again. So you plug that into that one, like so. You enter it, does a link test. So what it will do, it will flash the switch to make the light come on. So it makes it blink. So you know, oh, there it is, it's connected to that switch. And it's in that port, yeah? That's what that does. Let me quickly show you. QC, we need to take that out there. We need to plug it in there. Is basically it tests the actual connection to make sure. So for instance, you're making your own cable like I do sometimes, and you haven't crimped it properly and one of the cables hasn't made connection, you will need something like this to test it. You plug that in like that, and it's telling you instantly that every cable is spot on and is working properly. Now, if you've done it wrong, one of these will come up with a fault and say, oh, you've done it wrong, baby. You need to redo it. Very useful, especially if you make your own Ethernet cables and you crimp them yourself and you think, now do I just plug it in, see if it works or not? Now if you use one of the old tools, one of the analog tools that you can buy, it will come up but it flashes down and sometimes you can miss which one's not working properly, whereas this tells you instantly it's, say for instance number 2. Oh look, number 2's not working. Tells you instantly. And settings, which we done earlier. That is it. Like I said, it sounds complicated, but it's not, and it's very easy to use. Well, I found it very easy to use. So with that, if you found this video helpful or informative in any particular way, why not subscribe? Click on the bell to get notifications and giving this video the thumbs up. And also, if you do want to buy this, there'll be links in the video description below. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've got a better understanding of how this actually works now, because I have, and I'm quite happy to use it.